me if this sounds familiar. You walk into a room, and it feels like the noise swallows you whole. You're lovely, smart, wearing your best, yet somehow invisible. People look past you or look through you. You wonder, what do they have that I don't? Here's a secret. It isn't louder laughter or a tighter dress. It's the slow burn. And tonight, I'm going to show you how to light it. I learned it the hard way. Adored by millions, yes. Cameras flashing, yes. But there were nights I felt like a little girl in a dress borrowed from a star. You can sparkle in the light and still feel small in your own chest. The trick is not to fight that feeling, but to turn it into a flame. Slow, warm, persistent. That's how a spark becomes a room's attention without you ever raising your voice. Let's start at the doorway, darling. Don't burst in like a firecracker. Linger a heartbeat in the frame, one shoulder forward, chin soft, eyes taking a gentle tour. That pause, just one elegant sip of air, whispers, I'm here. And I'm worth discovering. It's not about being mysterious. It's about letting them lean in. Let them wonder just for a second what you'll do next. That's the first breath of the slow burn. Your pace is your power. We rush because we feel unworthy of time. Slow women know they're worth waiting for. When you walk, think, velvet glide. When you turn, think, a curtain floating. No hurry. Your body is not a commute, it's a scene change. Give your movements endings, tiny finishes that make the eye follow, a hand that lands softly on your hip, a wrist that rests with intention, a head tilt that settles before you speak. The smallest endings make the biggest memories. Now, the eyes. Don't paste on a stare. Imagine a candle behind your gaze. It flickers, it warms, it plays. You glance, then you let your attention travel, like you're tasting the room. When your eyes return, bring a little smile they can't quite decode. If someone catches you, meet them for a second, and then give it back to the air. That little return, oh, it's delicious. The slow burn is a dance with curiosity. You move, they wonder. You smile, they wonder more. Let me confess something. My confidence was never constant. Even when the lights were blinding, insecurity could feel louder than applause. I used to tuck it into my gestures. If the nerves rose, I softened my voice. If my heart raced, I slowed my breath. I'd trace my lipstick line with the tip of my tongue, just once, and remember, I choose the tempo. That's your secret too. Your energy is the conductor. You decide the soundtrack of the room. The voice is where most women give it away. We hurry. We fill every silence, as if empty space is failure. Darling, silence is silk. Let your words sit like a slip on satin. Speak a hair slower than comfortable. Drop your pitch as you finish your sentences. Just a little. Imagine lights dimming at the end of your phrases. People feel that. It reads as confidence. You're not chasing attention. You're letting attention come to you. Here's a tiny move, my favorite kind, the half turn. When someone addresses you, don't face them full on immediately. Give them your profile for a beat. Let your glance arrive before your body does. Then turn with a soft smile like you've decided on them. It's a gift. I choose you. The slow burn keeps choosing slowly. People fall in love with the feeling of being chosen. Let's dress the slow burn. Don't shout with clothes. Whisper with contrast. One element to make the heart skip. A red lip, a backless hint, a silk slit that breathes when you walk, and then quiet everywhere else. If everything screams, nothing speaks. A fitted black dress and a single diamond at your collarbone can undo a man more than 1,000 sparkles. Soft hair, strict eyeliner, or clean face, smoldering lip. The feminine spell is contrast, warm and cool, sweet and sharp. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be unforgettable. In love, the slow burn is oxygen. Don't pour the whole perfume all at once. Offer notes, A teasing text that ends on a question. A date that ends before the evening is over. A kiss that stops 1 second early. Leave him reaching. People cherish what doesn't give itself away in the first act, and the ones who can't stand suspense. They were never here for a story, only a shortcut. Let me tell you a little story from set. A director once asked me to save the brightest smile for the third take. He said, "If you give it all at once, nobody feels the lift." It's true in life. Start warm, not wild. Build to the glow. Keep something in your pocket for later. The laugh you only share when you're truly amused. The story you save for dessert. The touch you hold until eyes have said yes. When you pace joy, you make joy precious. If you ever feel yourself shrinking, do this. Anchor. Press your toes into the floor inside your shoe. Lengthen the back of your neck. Think of an invisible pearl string lifting your crown. Then imagine a spotlight, just big enough for one, shining down through the top of your head. You'll feel tall without trying. That's the kind of quiet stature that makes people stand a little straighter around you. Here's a confession you might not expect. I learned to love leaving first, not as a game, but as a ritual. A graceful exit is the slow burn's final chapter. Before the room is tired of you, you say your soft goodbyes, you add one fresh smile, and you go. The last image lingers. A woman who knows when to leave knows her value. Before we go deeper, I want to ask you something. Which part of the slow burn are you going to try this week? The doorway pause, the candlelit eyes, or the early exit? Tell me in the comments. I read them. And if these little confessions are lighting a spark for you, tap like and subscribe so we can keep meeting here, quietly, beautifully, every week. Now, let's talk about boundaries, because softness without edges is just a puddle. The slow burn needs shape. Say yes, like velvet, and no like satin with a seam. If an invitation doesn't feel like a gift, let it glide past. You don't owe anyone your sparkle on demand. When you stop performing for scraps of attention, your presence becomes rare, and rare things are treasured. Texting is where many women spill the gasoline and strike a match. You don't have to respond right away. Read, breathe, smile, put the phone down. Then answer with warmth, not urgency. A simple line, "I like that thought," and a question that invites his mind, not just his schedule. The slow burn is a conversation that leaves room for imagination. Save the heavy paragraphs. Deliver light, bright notes. Let him guess the melody between them. In the mirror, practice the look back. It's not a trick, it's a feeling. You're halfway out the door and you glance over your shoulder like you remembered a private joke. Your eyes say, "I left you something to think about." It works at a party, on a sidewalk, in a kitchen doorway. It works because it's not begging. It's a gift of curiosity. Leave a little question mark in your wake. Now let's address the ache. Feeling not enough. I know it intimately. Some nights I would stare into a mirror that wasn't very kind, and I would think, if they knew how I felt, would they still adore me? Here's what I discovered. Vulnerability doesn't bury allure, it breathes life into it. When you accept your softness, you stop acting. You become a woman again, not a mask. The slow burn lives in that truth. People fall for a heartbeat, not a pose. Make your beauty a ritual, not an emergency. Turn getting ready into a love letter to yourself. Steam in the shower. Oil your legs like a dancer. Choose one detail to polish to excellence. Nails, lashes, lip line, then forgive the rest. Perfection is glass. One scratch, and it shatters. Warmth is velvet. It only gets richer with touch. When you enjoy yourself, other people do too. Pleasure is contagious. Conversation is choreography. Don't lead with your resume. Lead with delight. Offer a slice of a story, not the whole cake. I once took a train to a place I couldn't pronounce. I'm learning to dance in socks. These are openings, not biographies. Ask small, generous questions that make a person sound interesting when they answer. What's a color you never wear and why? What music finds you when you're cleaning? Curiosity is a spotlight. When you hold it lightly, people shine inside it, and they will always return to the person who made them feel luminous. Here's a little body language bouquet to keep in your pocket. The tilted chin, lifted just a breath when you're amused, lowered when you're listening. The wrist reveal. Let a sleeve fall back when you gesture. The softest flash of skin. The delayed smile. Eyes react first. Mouth follows a half-second later. Each one says, I'm here, I'm soft, and I see you. None of them are loud. That's the point. In a relationship, the slow burn isn't withholding, it's savoring. Keep a private world that belongs to you. Your morning ritual, your solo walk, your journal no one reads. The more you love your own company, the more your love becomes a choice instead of a need. Choice tastes like freedom, and freedom tastes like desire. People don't want to own you, they want to orbit you. Be a planet, not a porch light. When conflict knocks, stay silk, not stone. Breathe, ground, and speak from the hips, not the throat. I like you. I want us. This part doesn't work for me. Firm, warm, clear. Boundaries are not a wall. They're the frame that keeps the painting from fraying. Nothing kills attraction faster than chaos. Calm is erotic. And when you're tired, beautiful girl, when you're very tired, don't punish yourself with performance. The slow burn needs oxygen. Rest is not laziness. It's fuel. Go home. Let the world miss you for a night. Look at the moon and pretend she's looking back. Wash your face like you're forgiving it. Put on balm like a promise. You will be more powerful tomorrow because you chose to be gentle today. One last secret. The slow burn is not for the crowd. It's for the one person in the room who feels you exactly as you are. Maybe that person is a stranger. Maybe it's the friend who has known you since bangs were a mistake. Maybe, tonight, that person is you. Stand beside your own heart as if it were the most glamorous companion you could hope for. Because it is. When you walk in with that kind of company, the world rearranges itself around you. So tonight, take your doorway, pause. Choose your contrast. Speak slower than your fear. Let your eyes light like candles. Save a smile for the third act. Give a gracious exit. And leave the air behind you humming with questions. This is how women become unforgettable. Not by shouting, not by chasing, by warming the room with their presence and giving it time to glow. Every woman owns a Monroe effect. It isn't a body, it's a temperature, it's a tempo. It's the slow burn. Light it, let it live, and watch how the night leans closer to hear you breathe.